All right, this is recorded the night before I go to EVO. I think the summer rankings are coming out pretty soon for Super Smash Bros. Melee, and there's been some talk that this is going to particularly be important summer rankings because unlike a lot of other years when we've had the hopes and promises of circuit finals and these tournaments in December to look forward to, we don't really have that this year. We don't really know what the post-summer, okay, we've got SmashCon and Shine and stuff like that coming up, but after those, you know, we don't really know what the big ones are going to look like in the winter season. So these summer rankings might tell a lot more of the tale of how the overall 2023 rankings are going to shape out relative to, let's say, 2022, 2021. I think people kind of know in some order kind of right now where the absolute top cream of the crop shakes out. I think the most interesting part of the ranking is probably going to be kind of in the 8 to 10 spots. Clearly, Zayn is at number one, right? You got to do Zayn number one. Zayn won more tournaments and more recently than everybody else. One get on my level, one fate. This was very unfortunate with the Jmook controller situation. I think that was really, really sad for Jmook. But still, you know, I mean, also beating HBox, also beating AMSA. Looked like the best player in the room at LACS. Like, I think Zayn is like pretty much a shoo-in for number one. I don't think anyone's ever going to contest that. I think Cody Schwab, you got to give him number two. I think the tournament results are just too consistent. Oddly enough, is actually up in sets against Leffen, even though the one that counted was LACS losers bracket, where Leffen did clutch that out. So I'm giving it to Cody. Cody has to be over Leffen. Also, like, just being 3-0 on Plup is f***ing crazy. Like, who the f*** goes 3-0 on Plup? Nobody. So Zayn, Cody, I think you got to give it to Leffen for number. I think I got to give it to Leffen for number 3. I'm doing Jmook for number 4, although Wizzy isn't even on this sheet, is he? Which is really funny. Where's Wizzy? Dude, I feel like Wizzy's got an outside shot at. But I feel like number 5 has to be. Damn, is Moki number 5? The problem with I think the thing that really hurts Moki is 0-3 on Mango, 0-3 on Zayn. But the bad losses are not bad. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares? You've got 2 losses to Zuppy and a loss to Sunsei. It's like, that's nothing. These are players that, you know, a loss to Aklo, but Moki's up on Aklo. Extremely dominant against Hamza. Also beating players like Joshman consistently is incredibly impressive. A win on Plup. I think to me, it's got to be Moki at 5th. Mango's got a nice stat board against Moki. Actually, a nice stat board against AMSA, if I'm not mistaken. I think Mango might be up against AMSA this ranking period. I don't have the diagram against me. I don't think they played very much. I think they played like once. Mango's got 2 big second places, right? Because Mango's got Tipped Off and Gommel. And both of those were pretty fucking stacked tournaments. I just think Mango's wins are better, but Mango's losses are certainly worth. So here's what I'm gonna do with Mango. I think Doc, like if he goes Doc or Marth or some shit, like I'm only counting the sets he goes Spaceys. Genesis, like I'm just kind of not really factoring it in because like he didn't play his main, you know? It's like, to me, it's like a don't test me tournament. We're not dinging Zayn for going Roy. To be honest with you, at those tournaments, he didn't really do that much in winners anyway, so it's not like it really changes the situation with Mango's rank, right? So yeah, Mango's Moki wins, I think, are really going to help him out. The big thing with Mango is Mango doesn't have any tournament wins, right? I don't think Mango won a tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God, this is so hard, and it's so much harder if you care about winning tournaments as like a metric that you evaluate as like really caring. I'm going to reward activity here. I'm going to put Mango at 6th, I think. AMSA, 3 HBox wins, 2 HBox losses. A lot of Cody losses, a lot of Moki losses. No wins on Mango. AMSA is often sort of carried by his Mango wins. You know, the funny thing is, like, in terms of consistency, because I'm doing this thing where Mango, I don't really fucking count Mango's Doc losses. To me, Mango's losses are actually not as bad as, like, Cody's bad losses or Jmook's bad losses. Like, to me, Skurzo and Morse Code are just, and Moff are just way worse losses than anything Mango's incurred. I guess even then, though, like, yeah, Cody's bad losses would be like Zamu, and I think Zamu's Zamu Polish or whatever, and like Zamu Polish is just not even that bad. So yeah, 0-6 against Moki is brutal, but like, what does that really mean? What does that actually mean, like objectively speaking? It just means that AMSA's got a bad Moki matchup, and it means that coincidentally at a lot of recent tournaments they have to play each other. Well, it turns out if you've got a bracket demon and you keep playing each other over and over every tournament, you're gonna have a really bad record against them. To me, that is not really that different than, you know, being 0-1 against somebody who you obviously can't beat, but you also only ran into them once a tournament. 0-6 is worse than 0-1 insofar as like it shows that they really truly have a problem with this player, and like 0-1 maybe they have a problem with the player, but like for example, if I'm 0-1 against Zayn and SFAT's 0-5 20 whatever against Zane. That does not mean that SFAT's worse against Zane or worse against Marth than I am. That means that I'm not getting to Zane in the bracket. So like to me, like, yeah, Amsa's got a fucking horrible record against Moki, but that doesn't make him worse just because they're playing more often because of the way that brackets are shaking out. Yeah, it makes his record look bad, but I'm not actually gonna ding Amsa that hard for like those exact records, if that makes sense. I'm gonna put Amsa at 7th for the reason I just stated. Dude, you know what I'm gonna do? I just gotta follow my little vibes-based heart at this point. I'm so sorry. I gotta do it this way because you know what it is? It's just plup, dude. And for me, a couple things are going on here. One, I actually do think online kind of counts. Two, plup won a tournament. Plup won CEO over people who are on this list. Winning a tournament is kind of a big deal. Plup only lost to Cody and Moki. Plup does not have many losses. Plup could actually move up, potentially. I guess Plup could not move above Moki. And to me, you know, if I'm saying that Plup, you know, I'm putting him at this ranking because of, like, he only loses to Cody and Moki. Well, I can't rank him above Moki. I also can't rank him above Mango, who's 3-0 against Moki. So Plup wins are not that good. They are that good if you count online, and they're especially that good if you count first to 25s. So I'm putting Plup at 7th. I just got to do it. I feel like Plup is, in my heart, I want to put Plup in the fucking top 2. To be perfectly honest, this is kind of a compromise on my end. That TikTok from Amsa is what's keeping him above Hungrybox. Okay, I'm going to do, for 9 and 10, we got to do Wizzy at 9th. I just think it's funny. And then we got to do Hungrybox at 10. Hungrybox clearly cannot beat Wizzy. I think that's very fair. To me, I want to put Wizzy higher. Like, I really do. Wizzy's wins are cracked. Wizzy's losses are pretty cracked too. So, you know, oh, is it actually out of the rank? I actually don't remember when they did it. Also, losing to somebody 2 to 25 and first 25 is actually kind of the same thing as playing Moki in 6 sets and losing. You know what I mean? It's like the same logic. Amsa should be 6, you just don't know the vision. Let's compare Amsa and Mango. First of all, the head-to-head. They are 1-1. No, Mango's 1-0. Mango's got a Cody min. Mango's got 3 Moki wins. Mango's got better losses because, again, I don't count the doc. I think the panelists will. Amsa's going to be above Mango on the actual rankings anyway. You know this to be true because they're going to ding Mango for his doc losses and stuff like that. Amsa usually gets placed a lot higher because he's got like a bunch of fucking Zane wins, you know, Mango wins, stuff like that. Amsa's really surviving on his 2 Jamek wins right now and 3 Spark wins and stuff like that. And overall very consistent against, I would say, the people that he's consistent against. Mango and Amsa are close. Did Amsa win any tournaments this season? Any at all? Well, he did win the thing that was happening the same weekend as Wave Dash. The Trail Invitational. I hate the off-season argument because Amsa didn't play a single game on Mute City the whole tournament. People always bring that up. They're like, Mute City was legal. Amsa didn't play a single game on Mute City. He beat Wizzy and Jmook in best of 5s on legal stages in tournament for money. Who cares if somewhere else in the venue earlier that weekend, Magi was playing Ginger on Mute City on game 4? Like, does that change anything that happened in Amsa's sets with Wizrobe or Jmook? To be honest with you, at the time, people weren't sure how he was going to do because it looked like Jmook was trying to figure Amsa out, and Wizzy's kind of always had Amsa's numbers. So, I mean, I just think that was a very impressive tournament for Amsa. At the time, like, in terms of the people he was actually beating and losing to, like, I think that result was probably bigger for his personal career in terms of, like, his own, like, kind of resume against some of those players. Because, like, you know, he at the time was doing overall very well against Mango, like, the people he beat at Big House. But, like, for a long time, he, like, really could not figure out Wizzy. And I mean, Jmook is a big question mark, right? Because Jmook is chic and had been coming up so recently. So I think to me, like, you know, if you actually probably asked Amsa about it, offseason probably was, like, a big personal victory for that reason. I have convinced myself that Mango should be next to Amsa on this ranking. So here's what I'm going to do. And if I put it to you this way, nobody can argue. HBox is only up on Mango, so maybe Wizzy really is number 9. Mango, wow, they really haven't. Dude, this is like, remember when we used to watch Mango and Hungrybox 4,000 times a year? Oh, they really have only played twice this season. One of them was with fucking Dr. Mario. Yeah, I'm doing this. I think to me, this feels correct. Here's the thing that also really tie breaks it for me is like, if right now Plup, Wizzy, and Hungrybox are dropped into a room and some cosmic being is like, you need to play a round robin of best of 5s between the 3 of you, I think Plup beats Wizzy. I think Plup beats Hungrybox. I think Wizzy beats Hungrybox. Also, if Amsa gets dropped into this room, I think Plup beats Amsa. Also, I think Plup beats everyone on the planet that's not Moki or Cody. So, I don't know. I think, to me, like, if Plup figures out Fox, I don't know. I'm so Plup-pilled. I remember it was, like, last time I housed Amsa, like, he came over for some tournament, probably Genesis or whatever. Like, he was, like, here for a day. And, like, we talked about it. I think this might have even been after the first of 25. And I was like, dude, you watch Plup sometimes. And I'm just like, dude, isn't Plup the best player? And I'm just like, yeah, I know. He's like, Plup's like the best player. He's not the number 1 player, but he's like the best player. Like, I really feel like Plup is the best player. And I was like, yeah, you get it. You get it. All right. Well, I think that's the top 10. I like that I got to rank Wizzy because I think it's funny. You cannot deny that if Wizzy was actually just at a tournament, you're fucking terrified of playing him because you think he's going to beat a lot of people there. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what rankings are for, right? They're for acknowledging who we think is, has good chances of beating people at tournaments. And I think that Wizzy has earned a place on my top 10 because I think he's just really fucking good.